It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good Sunday morning to you. This is Karey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. Today I am here with Troy and Paul Baumgardner, and they are the owners of BB Brothers Drain LLC. Tell us, guys, what all do you guys do?
Well, good morning, Karey. I'm Paul, and this is Troy.
Hello.
Do not do
Luke, I am your father.
I'm sorry.
He was
everybody.
dying to do
sorry.
that.
He always wanted that.
Bucket list check.
Yeah. Check. Get on your list there.
Checking it.
No, we specialize in drain cleaning, locating. We also do septic tank pumping and a plethora of other consulting on plumbing. Here to help everybody on the real estate on that side of it. It's not really the cleanest job.
We're the number one guys for your number two pipes.
There you go. Number one guys for your number two pipes. That is our slogan. So
That's awesome. Okay, so in the real estate world, you guys are the ones that we call to come and clean everything out, and that way the inspectors can come in and check it out and make sure it's all good.
everything is poo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff.
Tree roots and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, we really don't like to see the tree roots, so
Right.
yeah, those are the ones that get everybody's blood pressure up.
You hire us to make dirty movies.
Yeah, literally.
Literally, yes. And it's a fun gig.
Those are really interesting videos to watch, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
They are, but sometimes they can be a bit confusing. Some of the terms that goes along with that, I'm going to let Troy's our specialist on that. He's really good with this. He's got some things here, but there are terms when he makes a report that you may not understand. And if you don't, and you're buying, you should ask. But he's got a list of some
Like
things
if
here.
I'm making a video and I say there's a belly in the line, that means the pipe is sagging down. It is settled, holding water. If a pipe is holding water, water can't get out, then solids can't get out. It's going to cause a problem. If I say there's a separation, that means the pipe pulled apart. An offset means this one section is settled and the other one didn't, so you don't have a continuing pipe anymore. Root intrusion. There's tree roots in your pipe. Well, roots in your pipe's bad because it can catch solids and create a backup. You can auger those out, but they are going to grow back because trees are alive and they're going to go back for water. The only way to continue to keep them out all the time is to change that pipe. A collapse, smashing of a pipe, that would be a collapse. Ground.
Going good. No, going good. The collapse.
Oh, the collapsing of a pipe is when the weight of the ground smashes it and it's no longer round, it's oval. But those are some terms that people get confused on. I get phone calls, hey, what does a belly mean?
Yeah, that's one that confuses a lot. It's not the body part; it's an actual belly. But a belly is a problem with the install. Typically, sometimes you don't have the bedding down, and that's going to cause lots of problems later on.
Well, ground shift can cause it. We live in Kansas, hot, cold, wet, dry.
Just depends on the season, and things are always moving underground. And unfortunately, we don't have those X-ray glasses.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. They sold those glasses last year for the
Lunar,
the eclipse,
solar eclipse,
but that doesn't see through the ground. So the
question is, did you try it?
No,
I tried, and I did. He might not. I tried.
I was working.
I was gullible.
It got dark.
But one thing Troy does a really good job of is when he's at this site and we're inspecting and we find a belly, he'll go out and he'll locate that area. So from that area, it maybe the whole line's not bellied. There might only be a 10-foot section, a 5-foot section, or maybe it's multiple sections. At that point, he'll go out and he will mark that. And when Troy marks it, it's there. Even though he gets questioned all the time, when he marks the depth and where it's at, it's there. The technology we have is good, but the operator is even better than the technology.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, look at that. He said something nice.
I'm blushing.
He actually kind of is.
Yeah. A lot of people also ask after I auger tree roots out, well, how long will this last? I can't answer that. Nobody can answer that. Well, maybe a botanist. It kind of depends on how dry the weather is. If it's very dry, trees are going to send roots looking for water faster than normal. If it's wet, they're probably not going to send roots out quite as fast. But if there's tree roots in your sewer line, they're also getting fertilizer because they do kind of eat what we let out. You know?
That's gross.
So the reality of that is when he gets them removed, they're coming back.
Oh, yeah.
There's a broken line. There's a reason why those roots were there.
Came in a joint or something.
And the one thing we get a lot of is, your cable broke my line. That's not going to happen from an inside of the line. He'll clean that line, and then at that point in time, they're going to come back. So important on a real estate, if you have roots that are coming in, at some point, replacement or repair is in its future. And that's kind of one of those things. It's a hard thing to say, Mr. Homeowner or the future homeowner, here's your problem. But it is what it is. And some of the multiple different kinds of pipes is going to be different levels of what you have. There's Orangeburg, there's clay tile, there's cast iron, there's PVC, and there's different levels of that, of some of those. Some of those are not connectable. Orangeburg, not connectable. When we run into that, it's one of those, that's a replacement, typically from the home to the main.
And people think Orangeburg is orange. It's not. If there's an orange pipe in your ground, that's clay tile. Don't let a technician say orange is Orangeburg. Orangeburg is black. It was roofing tar paper, 6 layers thick, rolled into a circle. Now, the pressure of the soil smashes that flat.
And makes it oval. So in a video inspection, while you're looking at this, because Troy's going to hand you, when he's done, a flash drive and say, here you go to whoever is paying for that inspection. You will physically see, if it's Orangeburg, that it will be ovaled. We still have some that are good. I'm not sure how, because the way our Kansas,
I think those are the shallow ones.
Yeah, but you can clearly see on a video. So I'll look at an inspection after he's done, especially if there's one that's questionable that might need to be replaced. And if it's ovaled, you can clearly tell. And then,
as a video inspector, you stop at a joint, and the joint will tell you if it's round or oval. It's easier to see that line in the joint than it is to see a pipe as oval.
And through this process, you'll see, if you ever have us do a video, you'll see what Troy does. You won't see him going out, but he's looking at everything on the way out, and there's a footage on the screen. And then once he gets out, he'll hit record, and we record back.
We can
physically see the line better by recording back. If you go, you said Luke. You know, if you go forward, it just looks like Star Wars going really fast.
Well, and if you record in, you never know what you're going to get on your camera. Within 5 feet, you might get a smudge on your camera, and now you can't see anything.
Yes. So we always record back, recording back, and you'll see that our videos. Every once in a while, we have someone request, would you please record on the way out?
Both ways.
And if that's the case, then that's upon request.
Well, and I've already seen what I'm going to talk about and what I'm recording, so I know this footage I'm going to talk about tree roots, or I'm going to talk about whatever's in the line.
Sure. Levels of difficulty. Some people may or may not understand, but like locating, it's really hard if there's other utilities that are there, that sometimes that can make challenges on locate.
Underground electrical, overhead electrical,
and even access. We get the phone call. It's very common. The realtor, hey, I need you to go do a video inspection at address XYZ.
My question is there a clean out?
That's the first question is there a clean out?
If not, I have to pull a toilet or go through a roof vent. Well,
or somehow a clean out on the inside or a roof vent, and that makes things a lot more challenging when we have that.
Do you guys ever install the clean outs?
We do not. We know we're friends with plumbers who do.
We have a network of plumbers and contractors that help us. It's kind of we have a network that actually. So in a clean out situation, we hire the plumber, the licensed plumber, and then he will install that clean out for us. Same way with if there's a sewer replacement, we contract the licensed plumber and we give a price to one way or the other, and then we replace it.
Kind of works hand in hand. They don't like to auger, and we don't like to plumb.
And that is true. So
friends in low places, right? Or dirty places.
Dirty places. There you go.
Okay, so let's talk about maintenance. So say you have a septic inside of, or period, anytime you have a septic, it has to be pumped, and then it has to be inspected. So let's talk about maintenance, because I know that's been a big hot button, because, there's so many misconceptions about how you keep that in good shape.
Well, on a septic line, let's start with basically the concept of a sewer line and a septic line. Okay,
Yeah, the difference.
Because there is a difference, and sometimes the individual that moves from the city that's always been able to flush everything or put everything down the sink and goes right into the main, and it's not their problem. In a septic world, now it's your problem.
You're holding everything in a tank.
You have basically on a sewer, you got your house, your sewer line, and it goes into the city. The city takes it away.
Someone else's problem.
Someone else's problem, but we're paying for it in our taxes, so it's being taken care of. Don't worry about that.
You're paying for the problem.
Yeah, that's right. You're still paying for the problem. Now, on a septic, we got the house, line, now tank.
And then a lateral field.
Sometimes a distribution box, and then a lateral field. Okay.
Lateral just takes gray water out of your tank. So whenever you flush your toilet, that amount of water goes out to your lateral field.
Correct.
But the solids stay in the tank.
In the best of working system. And even in the best working systems, you're going to get solids out. So now we've added a lot of things that could make this more complicated. And now it's maintenance. There's maintenance involved because it's the poo's in your backyard or in your front yard. It's in your tank. So now we recommend 2 to 5 years on a real estate, I believe. Karey, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 2 years, I believe.
2 years. It has to have been pumped and inspected within 2 years. Otherwise, you have to do it again.
Right,
Sure.
so you got to pump then every 2 to 5 years. Depends on how many people live in the house, too. The more usage, the faster you have to pump it.
And the maintenance starts at the kitchen sink, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't pour bacon grease down
pour
there.
the grease there. You got to deal with that, or we do, and then there's a charge for that. So.
And since we're talking about that, don't put feminine hygiene products down the line. You know, don't put diapers down the line. How about those disposable wipes?
Flushable wipes.
They're not flushable.
That's a nasty word. That's a bad word. That ought to be beeped somehow. Flushable wipes should be beeped.
Technically, every toilet can take a flushable wipe, but not every sewer system can. So don't flush flushable wipes.
Even in sewers. Don't do
even
it.
in sewers.
Don't do it.
But in your septic tank, they sit in your septic tank and form a ball, and now that makes the pump truck guy really, really mad because he's got 500 pounds of wipes in his truck that he can't get out.
Oh.
Or there's a grease ball back at your kitchen sink again. If you dump in grease down there, it's not my problem. It's gone. No, it is your problem, and now someone's got to deal with that in your tank. So the maintenance really starts at inside the house.
But the grease is where bacteria comes into play. Grease and sludge. You can dose bacteria to eat that stuff.
And that's treatment. Now, just because you're dosing doesn't mean you pour all the bacon grease down there. It's just going to catch the solid. What you hope is it's retained, and Troy's going to explain a little bit. There's basically 3 levels of a septic tank. He's going to explain that real quick to you.
Yeah. There's a bottom layer, which, sludge layer. That's where the solids drop down to. There's a middle layer, basically gray water, and then there's a top layer that's a crust. So when you introduce solids to a septic tank, the feces and everything settles to the bottom. Well, that's where the bacteria eats. It comes up through the gray water, pulls off the crust, pulls it back down to the sludge area. Outlet baffle on a septic tank goes down about 14 inches so that it's normally only getting gray water to leave the tank. When you don't pump often enough, your sludge layer builds up to the level of your outlet. Then you can get solids out to your lateral field. That's a bad thing because now you're talking maybe having to dig up your whole yard, replace laterals, and if I remember right, a 3-bedroom house has to have like 1,400 feet of laterals at around $10 a foot.
I'm saying the going price right now is $10 a foot, give or take, depending on, but most companies are about the same. So when you're talking maintenance, Karey, we're talking inside. Now we're also dosing from the inside, which help that tank. So we want to make sure that sludge level's down, and we know when we pull the lid, we know if you've been treating, we know if you've been taking care of, we know if you understand your system, and then we try to educate those individuals. Well, here's why.
And you can dose bacteria with, Rid-X. Some people use activated baker's yeast. We prefer natural clean septic. If you want to talk a little bit about that kind of stuff, Rid-X is 75,000 bacteria count per milliliter. It's a decent idea, kind of weak. It is a single.
They spend a lot of money in advertising, though,
right.
So everybody knows Rid-X, the
right?
brand.
But it's a single strain bacteria, which means they wake up, they eat, they die, and then that's it. You're just redosing.
Flush it again.
Flush it again.
Buy
Buy more.
Buy more.
So Natural Clean Septic is a multi-strain bacteria, which means they will reproduce colonies. They don't just die and go away. It is also 300 billion bacteria count per milliliter. I mean, that's like Red X on super steroids, and that's what we use. But, any kind of yeast or even beer. I've seen people that drink a lot of beer, their septic tanks look really clean because of the yeast that's in the beer.
We're going to put in a break right here. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
This is Stephen Parkin at Invista Credit Union. Purchasing a home is one of the most exciting and important decisions someone can make. Let me tell you why Invista is the best choice for financing your new home purchase. First, quick pre-approval process. Our fast decision-making gives you the power to act quickly and make an offer on your dream home. Second, local servicing. We service your mortgage in-house. You won't get a long-distance runaround, but a committed professional whose only job is to help you. Third, experienced team. We are dedicated to simplifying the process and educating you through the home buying process. Come by Invista. It's okay to dream. In fact, it's encouraged. We are your home buying partner. Give us a call at 785-228-0149.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Karey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I am back with BB Brothers Drain LLC, which is Troy and Paul Baumgardner.
Hello.
Hi.
He did not do it. I was surprised. If you
Luke,
missed,
I am your father.
there you go. He's been dying to do that, so he got to do it in the first half. So twice, 2 checks on the bucket list.
Checks on the bucket list.
2 checks, yeah.
All right. So we were talking about, before the break, keeping your septic tank in good working order. And so with that being said, we figured we probably should touch a little bit more on things you should not flush into a septic tank.
But basketballs, golf balls, no foreign objects, toys.
Bleach.
Yeah, bleach will kill bacteria in your septic tank, and then your sludge starts to build up.
Any caustic chemicals, and a lot of those chemicals you're going to use in your household, thanks to clean tubs and different things. Just go conservative, especially if you're on the septic. Once again, the difference between sewer and septic, you're dealing with that septic.
Because you're holding your own poo in your backyard.
And the chemicals you're putting there. So everything you're putting there is you're dealing with that stuff. Troy's had some unique experiences when he's cleaning these out. Some of them we can't say on the radio. We've been filtered.
Yeah.
They have been, actually.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it positive. But, boy, it is amazing. He's got some stories. And if you look on our site and different pictures, we have some pictures of some things that he's pulled out that's quite amazing. Like root packs that are 4 foot long. Really?
Oh, yeah.
How do you do that in a 4-inch pipe? That's
Squirrels.
amazing. Squirrel. We
Rabbits.
caught a squirrel in one. And, different things. But when it gets down to, Karey, when your septic and your sewer are the same thing, okay? But the septic, you're going to have more maintenance on it. There's going to be more cost involved with maintenance, and anytime you have that. Pumping, if you're building and that, or if you're buying, you want to know where your tank's at. The county here does a great job of saying, hey, it's here. There's a map, and they kind of require that map. I'm sure you've seen many of those kind of maps. We have to find them if they don't have risers. One thing we do, another part of the maintenance side of that, is when we locate that tank, we'll expose that tank, then we'll put a riser on that tank. Now,
then it's no longer out of sight, out of mind. You got this 6-inch pipe, or if you're in an NEK area, a 24-inch riser, and now you can see that thing and you're reminded, I got to get this pumped.
But you can see it. Keep your eyes open, so when you're riding your mower, don't hit it, because it happens.
Because you get to pay to get the mower repaired too.
And the nice part is we like to bring it above grade so you physically see it. A lot of people want them real down flush. We'd prefer way high.
That way you can see it.
Yeah, if you live in the county, everybody around you knows that, okay, you got to have access to your tank. But that's important, the access to the tank. But if you do not have one, Beebe Brothers can take care of that for you as well. We can get you a new lid, new riser. And regulations are always changing on that, and each county has kind of a different regulation on how they want to do that. For instance, NEK, Troy mentioned the words NEK, that's basically the Northeast Kansas version, and they require 24-inch. So we now have a supplier, and we can make those 24-inch. And now that we put a few of those in, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of nice.
You got an actual manhole instead of a 6-inch riser pipe to work with, and that's easier on the pumper.
And the eyesore is a little bigger because it's 24-inch, but at the same time, the access is way better. For pumpers, it's really nice.
But hey, the lid's green, kind of matches the grass.
Yeah, that is true.
I will say that we've had to go out and search for them because, we knew that the guy coming out to pump was going to be on a short time frame because it was one of those quick deals.
Yeah.
And so I've gone out and had to try and find them, and I found them in flower beds like massive flower beds.
Because people try to disguise that eyesore.
Yeah, that's fun, especially when you're in heels. I mean, it's a blast
I
trying
bet
to find
that
them.
is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You should try finding them when there is no riser. It's pretty interesting.
It makes it real interesting.
That's where the camera equipment comes in and locator.
Absolutely.
I can witch them with 2 pieces of wire. That's pretty good.
But let's say you have the lid exposed. The riser's there, the lid's there, 24 or 6, whatever it is, or you have the complete lid to expose. Back to that maintenance. Let's pull that cap. Take a look in. Troy, what am I looking at that point? If I'm homeowner A,
you're looking at a pipe.
Ooh.
That was fun.
No.
If you look down in there, the bottom of the pipe will be the top of the concrete. Okay, the water level should be anywhere from 6 to 10 inches below that pipe. Now, that tank is always going to look full because you have a 1,000-gallon tank. It's going to hold 1,000 gallons of water. Just because you see water in there doesn't mean you need pumped out. It's the amount of solids that is in the bottom coming up. So a lot of people look in there and go, oh my goodness, I'm full. Well, yeah, you're supposed to have water in it because the inlet and outlet are about the same height. So it's going to always retain water. 6 to 10 inches below the bottom of that riser pipe or below the top of the tank.
And I'm going to go back to what he said in the beginning. The bottom of the riser pipe is the top
of the tank.
Yeah. Those are important. That's some of these terms we throw out that sometimes the homeowner or the realtor may not understand. The bottom of the pipe is the top of the tank.
Of an actual septic tank riser.
Correct. And
that's
what we're looking at.
If the riser's over the inlet side, you're going to look down there and see a T, for the sewer line coming in. Or if it's over the outlet, you're going to see a T for the outlet pipe.
Side.
The water level should be below those pipes.
6 to 10 inches is like he said, and that's the key.
Well, 6 to 10 inches from the top of the tank.
So once we look in there, that's when that maintenance side, once again, it all goes to you're responsible for your own poo there. So you got to go out there, and that's how you can check. We get calls daily on this.
Be careful checking. Don't lose your flashlight. Try not to use your cell phone as a flashlight.
Keep your cell phone
because
away.
I've seen people drop them in there.
And recovery, you don't want that phone. It's done if that happens.
I had to climb in a grease interceptor because I dropped my cell phone in it after I pumped it, and yeah, that's not good. It smells.
No, it's bad stuff. Don't ever put yourself in that position.
I had to get a oxygen monitor and everything, and it just wasn't good.
No good stuff.
So real quick, when it comes to real estate, one of the determining things about whether or not your septic tank is big enough is the number of bedrooms have to match up with the laterals. So
Right.
if you have more bedrooms than you have laterals, you will have to add. We have actually had to do that before.
Yes, they go off of number of bedrooms, not number of bathrooms.
Right.
Because number of bedrooms tells them how many people's going to live in the house.
And the nice part about that is whatever county you're purchasing in, your county inspector there is going to have all that information. And each county does that, breaks that down, and they break it down pretty kindergarten style, if you want to be honest. And it's pretty simple. They have their calculations, and as long as you're friendly with them, you always should be friendly with an inspector anyway, but if you're friendly
You're
with
smart,
them...
you are.
Yeah, that's right, because you're at their mercy here. But if you're friendly with them, they're going to be friendly right back, and they're going to give you the answers. Now, you may not like the answer, but that is the answer. So
You can't buck their system.
No,
You cannot.
don't do it. Just...
And it's really, whenever it comes to selling a property that does have a septic, it's always best to just go ahead and do that before you put it on the market. Go ahead, get it pumped, get the inspector out to look at it. It's good for 2 years. So once you get it done, you got a 2-year period. No reason to not already be prepared. That way you're not going to get blindsided at the 9th hour right before closing because, they're busy too. And what if they're late getting out because of their schedule? And all of a sudden we've got a problem. Well, we're probably not going to close on time. So go ahead and get it done beforehand. So real quick, we've got a couple minutes left. I would like, as clean as you can get it, the funniest things you've had happen.
Funniest things I've had happen?
Yeah.
I was augering from a roof vent one time. I was a rookie at it yet. And I'm pulling my cable back, and all of a sudden I have red all in my gloves. It was blood. And I thought, oh my Lord, I keistered somebody. I thought my cable made a wrong turn when someone was using the toilet. I went in the house freaking out, making sure everyone was okay. Turned out everyone was fine. It was a squirrel in the vent line. And I just thought for sure I hurt somebody with my auger. That one's kind of funny.
And Troy's got a big old heart, so it really crushed him. He probably fell off the roof getting there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Some of the things I've augured out of lines are pretty funny. I'm not allowed to say. I guess FCC rules or something.
But there was a time, though, Troy, where you're cameraing, because I seen this video. This was great. And there was a critter.
Oh, yes, critters.
And now, right there, right in the sewer line, Teenage
rats.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Rats and mice actually get up from the city sewer and can climb up into service lines, and I've recorded them on camera. Some rats were large enough they couldn't turn around in a 4-inch pipe. They had to walk backwards to avoid my camera. Black snakes. I've seen black snakes in sewer lines. You know what's scary about that, Karey? The only thing between you and them is some water in your toilet, and both of those animals can hold their breath.
Oh, that is messed up. All right, so one of the most unique things I've seen, houses built in the 1800s, couldn't find, nobody, the county, no one knew where the septic tank was. Well, the people had built their houses themselves back in that period in time, and they used an old Buick as their septic tank. They literally buried it, put a hole in the ceiling, and that was their septic tank. Needless to say, the buyers ended up with a new septic tank.
I wished I could have seen that. Did you take pictures?
Did you have a sunroof to do the
I lost
for the
pictures.
You lost the pictures.
No
That's
sunroof.
amazing.
It was a whole...
We haven't found one of those. I have found metal tanks.
Yeah.
In the ground.
Very interesting. All right, guys, tell us real quick. If they need to have their septic tank pumped, sewer lines inspected, cameraed, anything like that, how do they get a hold of you?
There's a couple different ways. You can go on our website at bbbrothersseptic.com, or you can see us on Facebook. Go to Facebook, like us on Facebook.
I like Facebook.
You gotta like us on Facebook, or you can always just call the number 1 guys for your number 2 pipes at 785-438-2080 or 785-357-0046.
And if you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and check us out. You can check out our website at nekansashomes.com. You can give us a call at 785-213-5188. Please like us on Facebook. Just look for Preferred Advisors Team. And thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors. Tune in again next Sunday at 11 o'clock for Real Estate 101.